Myron, what up?
Yo, what up, bro? I see you on stream, man. This
Yeah.
guy Pooh Shiesty hasn't learned his fucking lesson, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The feds was up on this one. I ain't gonna lie. I think as soon as the feds heard the first two lines, "fuck the feds," I think they said, "All right, let's build another case." They did this pretty quick. They got surveillance
Yeah.
footage. They got it down to a T.
Bro, dude, this is so fucking bad because he just got out of jail for like a similar crime. Dude, if he gets convicted this time, he's cooked.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying. But I don't know if are you home or are you at your spot?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I just, you want to jump on a mic or something like that? Or
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna watch this, but later on, I kind of because I do have some questions for you. Usually,
Sure.
like say things like this. I'm surprised they didn't sit on it. Like this happened 2 months ago, right? They're kind of hitting this really quickly. They could have probably say, "All right, this guy's back to doing crime. Let's sit on it," right? Also, I think the element that hip hop is going to be concerned about is Gucci. Like they're wondering, for you to be a victim, are you cooperating, or could they, without your consent, just name you as a victim? And could they even pursue charges if none of the victims, supposedly it's 3, if none of the victims actually even,
Okay, so that's actually an excellent question. So if Gucci decides not to cooperate with the government,
hold on, wait. I don't want to hold people in suspense, but I got to. Hop on all your equipment and everything. We'll kind of do it like how we do our shit. And we could do a proper breakdown. It'll probably take a couple minutes. I'll just keep listening to this. I think the Attorney General.
Are you gonna be on late tonight too or not?
Yeah, well, I'm streaming pretty much throughout the whole time. But if you got a quick answer now, just tell me now. I'd rather that.
Yeah. So to answer your question, bro, the less cooperative victims are, the harder they're gonna have to rely on physical evidence. So from what I've seen, it looks like they got CCTV footage and all this other stuff. Where if you have a lot of concrete evidence like that, witness testimony isn't really that important. So, so they could just cook them off of that, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, they have a full. I don't know if there's surveillance footage in the like studio, but they have a lot of like they know sequentially what happened. Yo, he was signing this paper while this guy pulled out his pistol. One guy blocking the door. It either has to be some surveillance or one of the victims has now talked. But let me throw this other thing in there. Do you think that maybe there's somebody with Pooh that probably, maybe he has some other shit going on. He's kind of just flipped and kind of giving the whole thing up.
That could be it. Like he got busted on something else. Because here's the thing. I'm looking for the criminal complaint right now, and I can't find it anywhere, bro.
Yeah, it's not unsealed yet.
Well, okay. So, yeah, because they just arrested him, right? So they have probably, you know why? He hasn't been brought in front of a judge yet.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So they're gonna unseal it when he does his initial appearance, which is already like 2 p.m.
Waking up TV.
They might not bring him in today. Every courthouse is different with their initial appearance, but by tomorrow at the latest, we're gonna have that criminal complaint more than likely, or they might have indicted him. But I was listening to AUSA. He said the complaint, if I'm not mistaken. So that means some agent probably drafted it up, gave it to the judge versus doing a formal indictment.
Yeah, interesting. Also, here's the thing too, and I'm not too sure how much you know about, at least within once you get to the Bureau of Prisons, at least for the federal government, like how do they deal with these things? If you're on what they call halfway house, which is kind of like it's pretty much like it's a version of home confinement where you're reporting to a building, but you're allowed to go free to do work, and I'm pretty sure the work was I have to go do I got to go do music, right? So he goes to the studio, which is one of the allowed places. If you then do a crime, then is there any revocation that they have to just say, oh, you're back in federal prison rather than halfway house?
Oh, yeah, bro. Like if you're on probation or parole or like any of that and you violate, like you're cooked. Like it could be as simple as they catch you with weed, dude. Like you're going right back to jail. They don't play around with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's like premeditation, but like this seems so stupid. Nobody could sat down and thought about this for 10 minutes.
Well, let me give you a little bit of insight, bro.
Dude, that is ankle monitor on.
Yo, these probation officers, bro. A lot of people don't know this. I'm gonna give your audience a little bit of game here. These probation officers damn near have more power than federal agents sometimes, and I'll explain why. if one of the people are on probation or getting one of these benefits where they're able to get out early, whatever, and they violate, not only can that probation officer go arrest them, he can search his house. He doesn't really need probable cause. Basically, you become the government's bitch, right? So what I used to do when I was an agent is if I was looking at a target and he was on probation, I'd go with the probation officer, pretend to be a probation officer, and then I'm able to pick up a bunch of intel from being in there because I'm there with that officer and he doesn't know what I do. So that's the power, just to kind of explain to you like how powerful these guys are when you violate. They become like damn near God mode, bro. They don't need anything to come pick you up.
Yeah, no, this was incredibly. I was thinking that maybe the guys around him like kicked off something and he just went along. The U.S. attorney saying no, he initiated this thing, and it's pretty bad. Jesus Christ, the across state lines thing. I'm wondering if they really probably had like an axe to grind against him. It seems like they do, because the only thing they're mentioning about interstate is that hey, they travel from Memphis. That seems to be the thing. Yo, they travel from Memphis.
To be honest with you, bro, establishing interstate nexus is very easy. Like, let's say they used a gun in a commission of a crime. Boom, it's done. Because what the government's going to articulate is he used a weapon that had different parts manufactured in different parts of the country, which affects interstate commerce, and that's how they get venue. That's how they do it. Yeah. Because I used to do one of the things I used to specialize in when I was on the border was gun cases.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of, one of my good friends, the ATF agent. So I used to work with him hand in hand. So I know exactly how the ATF deals with all these, gun charges. But to get interstate nexus, bro, it's real simple. Let's say you're a felon, right? And you get pulled over and you get arrested. And the state says, you know what? We don't want to take this. They call ATF. ATF comes and gets you, right? Now they write a criminal complaint. They indict you, whatever. They bring you into custody. One of the things that the ATF has to do to formalize before an indictment is they have to establish what's called an interstate nexus. And all that is a specially trained ATF agent, every field office has one, who's like the interstate nexus guy. He breaks apart the gun. He goes through all the different parts of the gun. And then he's able to conclusively say, hey, I examined this firearm. This firearm has springs from Massachusetts, but a trigger guard from California. And that's kind of their interstate nexus report. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I knew there was something up with this because Gucci was noticeably quiet. And unfortunately, hip-hop is so ignorant that Gucci, who has survived a case where he was charged after a self-defense shooting, he's been to jail numerous amount of times. He came out this last time where he seemingly changed his life. He's been living and kind of moving on a straight path. They're going to put him in the same, he kind of falls into this, is this Atlanta being Atlanta thing again, because this idea of ratting. I think people are going to assume he cooperated. And unfortunately, I think for the culture and fans, let's say this happened, they're expecting Gucci to just keep it straight.
Yeah, which he actually can do, bro. Because like he can if he doesn't testify, and he's like, look, I'm not gonna talk on that, like whatever. He could probably still salvage like his image, because I've done this before. Like when I did gang cases, one of the things that would almost always happen is like people would just not cooperate. Right, but we had so much physical evidence that we didn't really need that person's testimony, if that makes sense. So as long as you got good physical evidence, you got it. It's good. The witness is just like kind of the cherry on top when you don't have strong evidence, physical evidence.
Hey, and by the way, chat, I'm looking up here on the Bureau of Prison website for the government. It looks like
your chat is retarded, bro. Do these guys know what I used to do for a living?
Yeah, some of them might not know. So it looks like they're saying, so before Pooh Shiesty's location in the Federal Bureau of Prisons would say this halfway house in Dallas. It says he's no longer there, which means I could imagine he just transferred to another. They probably just came to pick him up.
At the halfway house?
Yeah. So he was there until yesterday, and it says he's not in. I think that's a. They denominate not in custody, but he is in custody, just not at a facility that's like known at this point. So it might be like going to the MDC or whatever it is.
Yeah, and remember, like I said before, if like you're out on probation or some shit like that, you basically have like no rights. Like you gotta ask for permission ahead of time. Your life is super restricted. You can't hang out with gangbangers, and if you do anything like that, you could get caught with a fucking roach, dude, and you'll go to jail. Right back to federal prison.
Yeah, I would love to see how this comes down. They keep saying conspiracy. So, you know, they're going with, oh, it's a conspiracy to do this, but it might just be conspiracy to commit robbery, right?
That's probably what happened.
But I would love to see if they have a bigger case here, but it seems like it might just be this. Regardless, I wonder what the statutes of, like, you know, what this carries.
Weapons offenses like that?
Well, robbing somebody at gunpoint. I mean, I would imagine
yeah. No, that someone was saying I think 5 to 15 years for statute of limitations if memory serves correct.
No, not statute of limitations, like sentencing actually.
Sentencing.
Yeah.
With the sentencing, that's going to be a little bit more tricky because when a judge sentences you, he takes into account your criminal history and other stuff. And like for Pooh Shiesty, him getting arrested while on probation and just getting out of jail. And keep in mind, when he got arrested the first time, he got arrested for the same dumb shit. Robbing dudes at gunpoint. So if he gets convicted, bro, the judge's probably going to throw the hammer at him.
Yo, it kind of makes me think, Pooh Shiesty was really living his raps. Imagine the amount of people he robbed that he didn't get caught for.
He really was, bro. It's actually fucking nuts, man. Like, and I've always said, like, if King Von was alive today, they would have picked him up on a RICO a long ass time ago.
Yeah, crazy. All right, let me watch this thing real quick, and then I'm gonna tap back in with you in a second. I'm pretty much gonna be on all day, so by the time you get on, we could do our thing.
Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go on at like 10, but I want to give you guys a little bit of sauce and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll definitely cook tonight if you want.
No, of course.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you. Peace.
All right.